Good morning. It is time for the CBSN Minnesota Morning Update. I'm Jason DeRusha. Day after the election day. Are you like an election night coverage junkie? Man, we had you covered on CBSN Minnesota last night. Great steaming steaming. It was steaming hot streaming coverage. Pat Kessler, out of retirement, back in action. Really good stuff. So hope you enjoyed it. You know, when I was a kid watching Chicago Cubs broadcasts, the color commentator, I think his name was Steve Smith. Steve Stone used to say, I hope you enjoyed the broadcast, if not the outcome. So that may have been the case for you. Maybe you did enjoy the outcome. We'll get into that in just a minute. But how about some weather? Here it is. Brr. It's cold, isn't it? Yeah, we've been starting every morning right around freezing. That's where we are right now. Average is 48. We'll be about 44. I guess maybe the headline here for me reading this graphic is that the average is 48. That's the average high. So it's that month of transition for sure as we go from a warm start to October to sort of getting close to the late fall temperature. It's going to heat up this weekend, though. It's a good thing I've got a bonfire planned for Saturday night or Friday night. Doing a Friday night. I'm all confused. This is what happens when you watch election coverage overnight. I can tell you about this, though, without any confusion, and that is the voters of Minneapolis said they do not want to change the charter amendment to replace the police department and replace it with the Department of Public Safety. 56% said no. 44% said yes. Mayor Frey up for re-election, and Jacob Frey urged a no vote. And when you look at the results of that mayoral race, Mayor Frey with a very dominant lead at this point, it's hard to see mathematically how he would end up losing. So our question is this, and we're a couple hours away from the votes being recounted, but a lot of the country was watching this police amendment, a lot of Minnesota for sure. You know, and we saw it in the city council races, some city council members who were in favor, who were vote yes supporters, were sent back, were reelected. Some were booted out. And a number of city council races are too close to call right now. So our question is this, because all of like the so-called experts are saying what they think this means. So we want to hear from you. What do you think happened last night? Some are saying that progressives overreached and that people still want policing and police officers. Of course, people who advocated for this amendment said, we never said we were getting rid of police. We just want police to be part of a Department of Public Safety. You know, maybe the voters were rejecting the fact that there wasn't a concrete plan decided on before. Who knows? I don't know what people, you know, I mean, we know they voted no. So we're asking you what you think, what your takeaway is. Share your thoughts on Facebook, and we'll read through some of your, I mean, you guys are at least as smart as some of these political experts out there, so we'll get your feedback in just a minute. As we mentioned, that race for Minneapolis mayor, it's still not called this morning. Let me show you the results. Jacob Frey with 43% of the vote leading that ranked choice vote. He's got about a 22% lead. And if you look at the number of votes, Jacob Frey has about 31,000 more first choice votes than Sheila Nezad. So when you look at all of the second choice votes, you know, they'll run this and run it out, and somebody's got to get 50% plus one to be declared the winner. But it looks like a really rough road for Sheila Nezad or Kate Canute to make up these votes on second choice votes. We'll show you the energetic response that Mayor Frey had last night, late last night, greeting supporters. You know, he didn't exactly declare victory, but he said, we did it, Minneapolis. So for sure declaring confidence. He also declared victory on that question 2 issue with voters voting no. Reforming policing, he kind of has campaigned on this, we need both. We need policing and we need a public safety reform and infrastructure. That's really a centerpiece of his campaign message. So 4 more years for Jacob Frey. St. Paul's Mayor Melvin Carter overwhelmingly reelected. 62% of the first choice votes, so it's over. He is the winner in St. Paul, a larger margin of victory than in 2017 when he ran last time. So lots of fallout on the election today as they run the second round of ranked choice voting. And we have a number of city council races too close to call. So we'll update you throughout the day right here on CBSN Minnesota. CDC has endorsed Pfizer's mini-dose COVID-19 shot for kids who are 5 to 11. This is perhaps a bigger story for some of you than the election even is. These special shots for kids have just a third of the dose given to teenagers and adults. And we've been hearing from you in the overnight hours as people have been grabbing appointments. Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, all opened up appointments, some of you getting in as early as Friday. M Health Fairview Masonic Children's Hospital says they'll start vaccinating on Monday. And you can probably expect, if you have kids in this age range, you'll hear from your pediatrician or your primary care clinic sometime today. And this afternoon, the governor, Tim Walz, will talk about the plan here in Minnesota to vaccinate that age group. These shots, the vaccine already, the state has many of those in their possession. World Series is over. And for Minnesotans, hard to know who to cheer for, right? Because you got the cheaters in Texas, and then you've got Atlanta, who we have a history with, of course, in the World Series of our own, but Atlanta the winner. Before the game, no dispute on this. How cool is it that this 13-year-old baseball player from Coon Rapids gets recognized and honored for his skills? Benjamin Bergen won Major League Baseball's pitch, hit, and run competition. So he was in the U12 division and beat out thousands of players all over the country. So he was one of 3 invited to Atlanta to catch Game 4 and then compete at Truist Park. Benjamin said when he heard them announce the second place winner, he was like, oh man, that means I won. He was in shock.
I thought we were neck to neck the whole time, and right as they said New York on the loudspeaker, I was just overwhelmed. I was so happy.
Yeah, Benjamin got to take home 2 trophies. He said, look, and there he is holding one of them. You're not going to check that. Right? You're not checking that bag. You're carrying that on with you. So we held him on the flight on the way back to Minnesota. This has happened to you, right? You log on to Facebook and you get an alert that says, hey, is this you in this photo that somebody else uploaded? And you look at the photo and you're like, that is just the worst possible photo of me. There's no way I am accepting the tag on this photo. And how on earth, Facebook, did you know that that photo was me? It's facial recognition software, and Facebook is getting rid of it. Facebook under fire for kind of data practices, privacy, misinformation. And so here we go. Facebook is saying, well, hey, we're not that bad. We're gonna, okay. Even though we have data on 1 billion faces from all over the world and we could surveil you in any sort of creepy way, we will turn this off and delete the data. More than a third of Facebook's daily users have opted in. I opt in. So Facebook can recognize me. I mean, come on. Like, am I supposed to go into hiding? I don't want Facebook to, I don't want anyone to know what this face looks like, all right? Sadly for you guys, you've seen plenty of this face. So they'll get rid of the data, so they say, and we'll hopefully verify that they do it. Something new on the menu at McDonald's today, and like, okay, the vegan McPlant, it's only available at like 8 McDonald's. You got to go to Cedar Rapids, Iowa to get it, so whatever, you're not going to get this now. But this is very significant. McDonald's is huge. Huge. And so for McDonald's, one of the biggest consumers of meat, biggest purchasers in the world, to start rolling out a McPlant burger, it just goes to the scale. I mean, think of how much they're going to buy, how this affects local companies that are involved in this, the Beyond burger company is producing it, but we have local companies involved in the production of pea protein. Cargill is involved in this business. Pretty interesting stuff, so something to watch there. Holiday tradition at Starbucks. Don't you miss the year that was like the giant outrage that Starbucks like canceled Christmas off of their cups? Because it just like it wasn't green and red enough. So ridiculous.
No, it didn't say Christmas.
No, it didn't say Christmas. I don't know. Who cares? Who cares? People get excited about the Starbucks cup. All right, there it is. I don't know. Why do people get excited about the Starbucks cup? It's like the weirdest. It's just a very strange thing to me. But, you know, if you are excited by the new Starbucks cup, enjoy. Tomorrow, that'll be out tomorrow. So there's the deets on that. All right, with some trepidation, I say let's see the comments as to what you had to say. I think that our viewers on the CBSN Minnesota Morning Update are among the most intelligent and thoughtful. And Melody comes through. No real good alternative was given that could be agreed on when it comes to this police amendment. And change is scary, especially when each side is telling you how much more bad it will be if the opposing side wins. Yeah. We had Jason Soul on the morning show today, and he said the fact that there wasn't, some concrete answers as to what the future was a big deal. Thanks, Melody. Here's Brittany. I think it was a good step in the right direction, but it seemed poorly worded, and I don't think people understood it. I hope this is the beginning of some sort of change. Yeah, nothing stopping the city council from making major changes, or the mayor now, that the mayor will be a strong mayor and have more authority, although the mayor was in charge of the police department to begin with. Thanks, Brittany. Here's Joe with crime on the rise. The messaging of getting rid of the police doesn't fit. A clear plan about the plan. Yeah, not having that didn't help. Joe, thank you. Yeah, and here's Bradley again saying no clear plan as to how replacing the policy would actually benefit the city. And people said, look, I'm not going to just vote for this and then hope for the best. Yeah, you wonder if the charter question was about removing the minimum number of officers. Like if they remove that number, would people be more in favor of that? Who knows? We'll see how this conversation continues, because these issues, right? The fact that some in our community don't feel safe under the current form of policing, that's not going away. And then the issue that others are saying, what are we doing about carjackings and shootings and all of that sort of crime? That doesn't seem to be going away either. Conversation will continue, though. Looking for solutions. We all want the same thing. We want to feel safe, and we want to feel at home in our community. So that continues. And we'll be covering all of it for you. All the updates. The second round of counting, just kind of breaking news, comes in at 9 this morning. So they'll run the next round of the mayor's race. So we'll see if we get a result. We may have a result by 9:30 or 10 this morning. So stick around on CBSN Minnesota for the latest.